very promising session in this series of professionalism in civil engineering. So we have none other than our past president, Engineer Sanna Ratnavel, here to talk to us about the competence of civil engineers as per NPC and also negligence of state government. A bold statement there. And may I request Srikanth to give some opening remarks, after which we will introduce the speaker.
Thank
Srikanth?
you, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Good evening and warm welcome to all the participants for this fourth session of Professionalism in Civil Engineering webinar series organized by Association of Consulting Civil Engineers India Bangalore Center. Friends, in the last three sessions, we heard about how these bylaws are important, and by proper bylaws and other things, if incorporated, the building collapses and failures can be avoided, which was the first one we had from engineer Sangeeta Vij. And in the second session, we heard from engineer Surya Prakash about in what way the unprofessionalism in the construction is affecting our country with regards to the draining out of the funds, and also in with regards to the professionalism, ethics, and other things. And in the third session, by our ex-senior president, Avinash Shirodeji, talked about the legal challenges that we were facing right from framing of this Architects Act 1972, and till today we have not come out of it. And that was a brainstorm from Shirodeji last time. And today, this now very important, another important topic. This is the fundamental rights kind of a thing. Today, let us understand our rights and privileges that are provided in National Building Code 2016 presently. Friends, NBC is such a document which is, we can say that it is a Bible for our construction industry. And the preparation of this is done none other than our, the codal, this top body, what is known as Bureau of Indian Standards, BIS. The provisions of this code is, the preparation of this code is by a committee, special committee, which comprises all kinds of professionalisms or specializations represented from central government, state government, then other construction agencies, then private professional, and then individuals who are expert in that particular field. So it covers all gamuts of professionalism and all gamut of this construction activities. So it is such a document which is used throughout the country. It is a single document. So it is like understanding our fundamental rights and privileges for that matter, for any civil engineer, and we should know about the provisions. Friends, we have today our special personality, none other than Engineer S. Ratnavel, who is, pioneered our cause of engineers, engineers bill and other things, and he is expertise, even in internationally, what kinds of privileges engineers should have, what are the other organizations internationally, how to recognize an engineer from here to other country, from that country to here, and so many things. He is expertise, and he is having an in-depth knowledge about all these civil engineers, mobility, and other things. So we will hear more from him. After the main lecture, we have 8 to 10 minutes before question and answer, so that the speaker will get about 8 to 10 minutes breathing time before he starts answering the questions. So This is all from my side. Sir, back to you, Kalgal sir.
Yeah, thank you, Srikant. And we have engineer T.S. Rajgopalan sir here, who is our managing committee member of ACCI Bangalore Center and one of the most regulars in all our programs. May I request him to introduce the speaker of the evening, Sanna Ratnavel. Over to you, Rajgopalan sir.
Good evening, all, and thank you, Dr. Kalgal and Mr. Srikant. Today's speaker is Mr. Sanna Ratnavel. He is a well-known personality among all of us. He doesn't require introduction, but okay, so as a formality, I have the pleasure of introducing him. He is the Chief Executive of Sceba Consulting Center Services, member of the Board of the Governors of Engineering Council of India, and the national past president, immediate past president of ACCI. He has a very multifaceted expertise in consultancy for spanning over 35 years and one of the most sought after person in the infrastructure and geotechnical field. Post his graduation and post-graduation from IIT Delhi, he has worked with various government organizations and private sector, public and private sector, and involved in various types of projects, whether it's infrastructure, industrial, powerhouse, solar, earth retaining structures, bridges, etc. He has been involved in various retrofitting activities in traditional buildings, institutional buildings, and by utilizing very conventional and non-conventional processes. He has involved in construction of many Hindu temples as per the Agama Shastra. He has many papers to his credit, and he has organized a large amount of workshops, seminars, national seminars, and published and presented various papers in those events. His introduction will go for minimum of at least an hour or so, but I'm trying to cut short. He has been awarded very prestigious Vishweshwarya Eminent Engineers Award at the Madurai ACCI Center, Excellence in Engineering and Technology from the Salem Civil Engineers Association, Rashtriya Gaurav Award by the All India Business and Community Foundation, Excellence in Engineering and Technology by IEDRA New Delhi, Lion of the Year Award by the Engineering and Technology, Betri Turmangal Award from the Jayashree Films Chennai, and Eminent Engineer Award by COCENA Coimbatore. And he has held various important positions and memberships with various authorities. With that, I hand over the thing to Dr. Kalkal.
Thank you, Rajgopalan sir. So here we have the lion who is going to give us all the glimpses of what we are entitled to and how we are not being given those privileges. So over to you, Ratnavel. You have 1 hour from now.
So, okay. So nice of you, Srikant, for having given me this opportunity. I'm very much grateful to Dr. Galkal for having given a prelude about me, and I am very much grateful to Mr. Engineer Rajagopalan also for having introduced me in a nice way, because it is very difficult to write a CV. I can write a book, but it is very difficult to write a CV for me, for anybody. It is like getting into the shop for choosing the gift for our friend's birthday or marriage and something like that. It's very, very difficult like that. But even till now, as Mr. my friend Dr. Ajit used to say, I don't know who am I. So I have to discover and I have to find out. But anyway, this is a conventional show. The today topic is not on any philosophy or logic or something like that. I am going to talk about what is available in this country and what is not utilized by this country. It is very sad, even after 3 decades, 3.5 decades, and 4 decades, after passing out from premier institution. In the premier institution, when I was studying there, I was very active in all kind of political, economical, and other activities with capital universities, very popular universities. I was really very activist. Many people know this one. But that time, we were trying to study about our system. See, in India, we create system, but ultimately we misunderstand the system. It is a problem. Even people don't know what is system. It is also a problem. Many people say, the system is not correct and the system has to be changed and all these things. Being a systems faculty, being a systems expert, I would like to inform to all about my learnings, my understanding. You see, system is, it is not that if you call anything as a system, it must be good. It must be good articulated. Anything which is very well articulated, any elements very well articulated, it is called the system. You should not say the system is wrong or system has to be changed. This is not correct. When anything is articulated and if it is arranged uniformly, it is called a system. So when you call anything system is good, it is very well articulated. It is a thing like. And second one I want to say is the definition for the system is it is nothing but interrelated and interdependent and interacting. So all the elements must must be interrelated and it must interact and it must be interdependent also. So here each and every element has a role to play. It is very important. But very unfortunately, the system is also divided into two aspects. One is called the hard system and another one is called the soft system. That is also a problem. People have no understanding, even up to the top level of our ruling person to the bottom level of bureaucracy and everybody, they have no understanding. That's what I have observed, understood, and we have been we have been experiencing this kind of things, and we are unable to do good things. The problem is the hard system is very well articulated system. It is like our car. I want to tell you like an example, our cell phone. The cell phone, you cannot do anything. You see, you give the cell phone to my son. If you press the button, it will execute the order, whatever it is required. And if you give to the child, if you press the button, the same thing will come out. The output will be the same. Even if you give to the any computer engineer, if you press it, it will come out. So that means what? If you put put your hand on the steering and if you rotate it, it will turn. So that means whoever does caution on any intention, the output will be the same. It is called a hard system. That means very articulated system. But the soft system, it is a problem. Now we are dealing with soft system means, suppose if I ask my labor to bring a cup of coffee, he will bring in a different way. He will prepare the coffee in a different way. If I ask 100%, 100% will prepare the coffee in different way. So it is a problem. So that case, it's a soft system. It is not fully articulated system. Here, if anybody says something, everything is misinterpreted and miscommunicated. And sometimes people create, the rumors, and sometimes people create, false kind of, information to the people. This is what's happening in India. That is why National Building Code, it is most misunderstood document in this country by our professionals. And engineers also highly misunderstood, professionals in this country. And nowadays people are using, what is a privilege? Actually, professionals, whether you take doctor, engineers, lawyers, or advocates or auditors, we don't have any privileges. We are having duties to perform. We are having responsibility to perform. We are supposed to be accountable based on the ethical standard. nothing. But we have no privileges. But for that, if you take any professional, the professional is divided into two aspects. One is graduate aptitude, attitude and attributes and professional attributes. So here in India, you take any profession for that matter, medicine, it's been practiced for so long, there is no graduate attributes and there is no professional attributes also. And other professionals, they are trying to copy these people and ultimately they spoil themselves. But no single professional in India is following the real rules given by the God. What is graduate attributes and what is professional attributes? That is also not at all addressed in the colleges. That is also not addressed by the professional societies, or that is also not addressed by the recent industries. It is also a problem. So we are dealing with combination of hard system and soft system and confusing ourselves. Ultimately, every individual is working as a software labor or something like that. That is why we are unable to give productivity for the country. So anyway, now coming to the point, just usually whenever we make any presentation, we come with some PowerPoint presentation and all these things. It has become a common thing. But anyway, without PowerPoint, we can address and we can speak better. But still, I want to show the conventional one so that the PowerPoint presentation is not for the people. It is for me. I will take some notes. I will speak on something about my ideas. But whatever I speak, don't think this is a truth or this is the final one. Just I am sharing my opinion and idea only. Don't bring to the conclusion or don't try to create any argument with me or something like that. Just whatever I understood in the past, being an activist, being an engineer, being a good citizen of this country, what I am thinking about this national building code and what government is thinking, what our engineers are doing about it. Just I want to show it, but it is not a great presentation. But anyway, you can see something like that. I want to share this PowerPoint presentation. Is it available? Is it available there?
Sir, you have sent it to.
No, I am sharing it. Don't worry. This is
okay.
Okay. Is
Yeah,
it
now
available?
visible, sir.
Yeah. Is it available now?
Not yet, sir. Just a minute. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Please.
Okay. Competence of civil engineer as per National Building Part 2, negligence of state governments. See, competence, this is also very important keyword. Civil engineer, it is a wonderful keyword, and National Building Code and the negligence of state and state governments. See, National Building Code of India is published by international something. So National Building Code of India is published by Bureau of Indian Standards and it is recommendatory document. The Bureau of Indian Standards, BIS. BIS is the standard body of India established under the BIS Act 2016 only for the harmonious development of the activities of standardization, marking and quality certification of goods and for matters connected therewith or incidental thereto. BIS has been providing traceable and tangible benefits to the national economy in a number of ways, providing safe, reliable, quality goods, minimizing health hazards to consumers, promoting exports and imports, substitute, control over proliferation of varieties, etc., through standardization, certification, and testing. So here, the National Building Code is trying to bring out all the people who involved there into the hard system. That means fully articulated system. That means it is a transformation of soft system to hard system, but it is very, very difficult unless otherwise we have good leadership. It is very, very difficult. The center's new National Building Code proposes to make builders liable for the safety of the structure. See, in the past, in the last two lines, it tried to address the same thing. The same thing is make the builder liable for the safety of the structure. However, the code is voluntary in nature and it is up to the states to incorporate it in their building bylaws. Here only, we have problem. See, National Building Code suggests something. It has suggested more than 2,500, 3,000 pages. In addition to that one, more than, 250 and 300 codes. Even I don't know many codes, but it is limited. It depends upon your practice, how many codes you are familiar. Even many codes are available and also keep on changing every time. Here, it is a voluntary in nature, but people understand, no, it is not a statutory status. Then why the hell this government created an act for this in 2016? What is the difference between statutory body, voluntary body, and it is directing though it is a voluntary, the content is the voluntary means it's not all the content is voluntary. It is a voluntary means there may be something. The problem in the state, they have to conceive whatever the content given by the National Building Code in the contextual relations. They have to improve and modify and fine tune it for the purpose. But however, the code may be voluntary, but it is a responsibility of the government. It is having statutory status, and the direction is having statutory status, and the state government must follow this code. Voluntary means content. The content must be fine-tuned, depends upon the contextual relations. So if you use the word voluntary means I don't use it, I don't follow it, means that it is irresponsibility of the state government. But this voluntary means the content is maybe different, because whatever we are giving, for example, ventilation and lighting and air pressure and many things, materials, because of the climatic condition and all these things, they have given the guidelines, directions. And also, in addition to that, not only National Building Code in every chapter, they have addressed about many codes, which is subsequently you have to follow that, you have to read that if you are in the practice. It is a comprehensive building codes. You see, you cannot address everything in the brief, but even people have addressed very elaborately. Really, I would like to appreciate this National Building Code and BAS standard, officials. Really, they have been doing wonderful job in the past, but they are making a lot of changes. And once upon a time, yesterday when I talked to our past president, Pichaya, about something like that, he was telling me, he was giving me very important point. You see, in the past, when Dr. Galkal, Dr. Ajit, and some more senior people were studying in the colleges and all these things, you see, whenever you ask any code, people say, yes, sir, one code is available. It is available in the chief engineer office. It is available with the minister office. Because many of the engineering colleges, which is available in the Madurai, Chennai, and Coimbatore, and students, they never had opportunity to look into any of the codes while they are studying it. It is very difficult. Even people were addressed to buy only IS 456. Every student was trying to buy this code, but nobody was unable to buy this one. There will be one code available, and that code will be available with son of some engineer or chief engineer or something like that. Even that time photocopy also not available, and people don't know anything about the direction given by the BAS as well as the NBC, and the government also. They will keep it in the shelf, and very safely they will lock it. They don't look at it. I think Dr. Tirunavakar is here, and he will agree with me. That's what, every time, whenever any good student, whenever he see any code which is available on the table, he will be very good. He will be happy to open it. He will want to handle it and something like that. But those period, we did not have any facilities for photocopying, any facilities for purchasing it, anything. Either you have to purchase it from SERC Taramani for Tamil Nadu people, and I don't know, Bangalore people, in Bangalore somewhere it is like this, and otherwise you have to go to Delhi, RK Puram, and BAS. This is the way people have studied, and how to follow it, how to implement it. And municipalities and governments, they don't know anything about it. They just give the appointment, everybody will be taking the salary, and whenever any client go there, they don't give you even a chair or any seat or something like that. They will be talking all these things about the code and all. Nobody will address about it. So change is permanent or nothing is constant. Both are same. See, change is permanent or nothing is constant. But you see, all these words, 6 words on the top, there are 3 words. The bottom, there are 3 words. Both, address the same thing. In any part section of this code where reference is made to good practices, it is very important word, good practices. In relation to design, constructional procedure or other related information, and where reference is made to accepted standards relation to material specification, testing, or other related information. You see, within the small lines, in between lines, lot of meanings. So you can, if you want to address to the students, you can address the students for even more than 6 hours. Reference is made to accepted standards. What is accepted standard? It's very difficult. The accepted standard in relation to material specification, testing, or other related information. I am also going to show you some of these things. It must be authorized testing laboratory or approved engineer, approved authority. This kind of words are there. But I am not going to blame the National Building Code for mentioning all these things. We have to blame our users and the government, state government. The state government is supposed to define what is accepted standard, how to make any product as a accepted standard. It is a duty of the state governments. It is duty of the municipalities. It is duty of the town panchayat. It is duty of the corporations. It is very important in relation to material specification, testing, or other related information. Many people call me, I am having laboratory. I was the first man in 1986. I opened the laboratory in Madurai. First man opened the laboratory, and nobody knows about the laboratory and something like that. Because I opened the laboratory, being a structural engineer, because I opened the laboratory, and people started calling me like a soil engineer or this engineer and that engineer, something like. Till now, many engineers are calling me as a soil engineer. I have opened the laboratory for my practice as a structural engineer. I have not opened this laboratory, just like that, for a geotechnical purpose only or some other purpose only. But purposefully also, many engineers are calling me as a soil engineer, geotechnical engineer. I am also very proud because, I had a time, I spent some time in CSMRS also. I had a very good time. I worked there and something like that. So, okay. But see, for even now, people don't know what I am doing. But people ask me everything. Whenever they have doubt on everything, they ask me in structures, they ask me in seismic, they ask me in soil stabilization, they ask me in nanotechnology, they ask me in everything. No, it is not that one person must be expert on only structural engineering only or concrete technology only. Because we engineers are trained in basic sciences. What is basic sciences? Maths, physics, chemistry, and this is basic sciences and engineering arts. So any person who is being trained in basic sciences and engineering sciences and engineering arts, he is eligible to do anything in the world. Because we have created compartmentalization, that is why we are unable to invent or discover any of the medicine for corona. It is all because of this compartmentalization. Our professionals artificially put a barricade for the potential people not to perform. That is why we are suffering. People are dying. It is all because of our poor understanding. That is the problem. But, NBC has done a good job. Reference is made to accepted standard in relation to material specification, and material specification also problem because, I am very happy with this PWD of Tamil Nadu because I worked there in planning and design. But for, that, we have to write the document, everything in our own hands. If you want to prepare estimation, you have to prepare estimation based on the building proposed in the particular city or this thing. That time, there was a district bifurcation, and we have to work for more than 17, district bifurcation buildings and everything. The superintending engineer is more than any IIT professor. He will look into every, spelling mistake, as well as, calculations and structural design calculations, as well as, BAS and standard and everything. Really, I was surprised when I worked there. And whenever we go to the office at 9 o'clock, we leave the office at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock in the night. It was intensive structural practice, but each and everything you have to write in your own hands with the tracing sheet and micro tip pen. You have to write all the calculations. You have to do everything. And you have to write each and every specifications. And you have to do the proper calculation and estimations and all the coefficient of the steel and coefficient of the cement and everything you have to prepare depends upon the structure which is proposed in the particular field. If it is a bus stand, if it is a hospital, if it is a school, and every specification vary. But there we will write based on this National Building Code and also as per the chief engineer circular number so something like that. We write like this. I never seen such a practice in the private sector from Delhi to Kanyakumari. I never seen such a practice. I'm very happy. Even in the same practice is happening in Andhra also. I have seen in Kerala also in olden age, because people were following the British period. People first write the National Building Code as per the National Building Code 1892. The number of boreholes to be explored as per the CE circular number so and so. We have to write that. Two specifications. What NBC said and what the CE circular number says, what is the recent development that had taken place in that. We write each and everything. Then after that we will submit that. But such practice, but people say, these are government, they don't do anything. But I've never seen any private engineer or private consultancy, any architecture firm, they write this kind of, detailed, this estimate, specifications anywhere else. They will write only one word, earthwork excavation, over. Whether it is a rock, in soils, in expansively soils, in what, they don't write. Even I have seen the pile foundation, they don't write. Even in the superstructures and cell structures, flat slab, people don't know how to write all these things. They will write flat slab, per square feet, this much, this, that's all. And people ultimately land up with arbitration. Most of the civil engineering project land up with arbitration is because they don't know how to handle the National Building Code in support of their practice, and also they don't know how to narrate all these things with association with CPWD or PWD or local practice or something like that. Because such practice is not available, such document is not available, but many engineers, they have crossed their age also. All standards are subject to revision and parties to agreements based on any part, section are encouraged to investigate the possibility of applying the most recent editions of the standard. It is not only for NBC. It is also, it is also applicable for the private practice, from the government or local government, everywhere. But how many people are doing this? Investigate possibility of applying it. And everybody says, even when you give the solution to the government, innovative solution to the government, they will say, no, sir, please change all these things. Don't write this much. You give the old solution which we done, last year, a day, or 3 years back, or when this thing, something like that. The IAS officer, he will call the superintendent. Mr. Ratnavel is suggesting the solution for our problem and something like that. He has brought big document. Usually what we do in this kind of these things, the IAS officer asks the superintendent, because superintendent is the permanent officer in the particular department. He will say, come and say, no, sir, we do like this, something like this. Sir, this document is available there, I will take it. Then they will bring the document without reading it, without having any suggestion and all these things. They will give the document and everything. They will ask the consultant to copy the same thing and try to bring the solution, everything within the framework. They will submit it. People are submitting it. Even now, I am also submitting it. What to do? But whatever we are submitting, whatever we are doing in the field, both are, different, because we are, conscious people sometimes, that, Sometimes we say, no, sir, we don't pay the consultancy fees for this thing. You please bring it to the contractor specification and all these things. The contractor will pay you. See, this is what happening when we create, this much, how much money we are, creating. For, lakhs and lakhs and crores of rupees, we are burying into the soil in the name of construction. But what happens? Now, whenever we do any construction today for 1 rupee, it is supposed to give return for 80 paise from next year onwards. It is supposed to be the conventional productivity for civil engineering. But what happens now, if you give money to the Panchayat union or Panchayat town, but in the name of democracy, they are all proletated people. All engineers are working under a executive officer. He is a art subject man, something like that, and they are burying the money into the soil. What happens next year after constructing the building or particular investment? They are spending 1 rupee 50 paise for rehabilitation and retrofitting. Otherwise, they will leave it as it is. You go and see, no project is, constructed with proper specification, with proper idea and proper innovation and everything. How much money we have spent? We were talking about, Madurai, we have got Meenakshi Amman temple, Trichy we have, in Hampi we have. Okay, all those things are very good. And, you go and see the, Bangalore library, Bangalore old buildings. But now we have spent a lot of money, but they all matchbox, concrete jungles. All these things, but people say only architects have right to design all these things. I never seen single building which is done by the architects, which is catching the eyes of the foreigners or Indians. That's what's happening. But everybody is claiming, oh no, I am architect, I am this and that. If you go and ask every architect who claims that he is meritorious in his school, and what happened there? Sorry. So competence. So here, competence is the honesty of this thing already, I mentioned about it, graduate attributes. You see, graduate attributes is, there are a lot of, it's a very good subject, but, we can talk about more than 1 hour, but deep discipline, knowledge, and intellectual breadth. See, all our education system at present is outdated. Totally outdated. I'm also teaching in colleges more than 15, 20 years right now. I'm also teaching 1 credit course, 3 credit course, even this thing. But in premier institution only, they allow me to design my syllabus depends upon the latest one. But some of the, autonomous college only allow me to design everything. But otherwise, in all government colleges and everything, all education system is, totally outdated. It is used for nothing. People have to think about it. So deep discipline, knowledge, and intellectual breadth. How, our Visvesvaraya had done everything. He had a self-centered learning system. But now we are having, book-centered learning system and something like that. So professional attributes, it is willingness to learn. True professionals are always open to learning more, advancing their skill set. But many, I don't know, how many people are, learning it, how many people are improving their advanced skill set and all these things. And there are some people, 25 to 30% of the engineers, really they are trying to do it. But we don't allow those kind of skillful engineers, the contemporary knowledge-based engineers, to perform in this country. That is also happening not only in engineering, it happens in medicine, it happens elsewhere, and this thing. Even if we rediscover our old technology in construction technology, if we rediscover our best technology in our old system, traditional system, people don't allow you to perform. So this is what's happening in medicine also. So that is why, we confront all these things. At present, nobody should claim in this coronavirus period and all these things. I am ashamed of claiming myself as a scientist or engineer or anything, any other profession, because whatever science we created, it totally failed. Because so far, we are, but, corona is, killing the people. But in other structures, it's already, we are spoiling, we are, burying the money into the soils. But there we don't bother about it because it's a life threatening. So it become a sensational one nowadays. Information for the users about the availability of the code groups. For example, you see, they have given this many things like It is only in the chapters only. For example, group 1, each incorporating the related part sections dealing with particular area of building activity, development, building planning and related aspects. It is a very big subject. Integrated approach, prerequisite for applying provision of the code, definitions. It is also great in the definition chapter. Please go and see, open the National Building Code. For each and every word has to be defined, because what is the difference between this what is the meaning for assault? That in Tamil Nadu, the meaning for assault is something like it is lazy, or something like a person who is unable to perform and something like that. People call, people say he's a very assault man, sir. Assault is something like that. But assault means attack in English. So the same way in India, if we say anything, sir, all are politics, sir. So, but if you go other countries, or European countries or American countries, politics means it is a science. But in India, politics means fraud. So this kind of interpretations. So many slangs, many people copy all the these keywords, scientific keywords, and they are misusing the keywords for the local slang and for local use and all these things. That is why I'm telling you must have the knowledge in definition. Definition is very, very important. It is like origin of the word or something like that. So definitions, then administration, I will come and discuss with you after that. Fire and life safety, building materials, landscape development, landscape planning, design development, science and outdoor display structures, approach to sustainability. It is very important. You see, in group 1, they have, combined this group 11, part 11 in this category. I will show you in the another one. It is a group 2 for structural design and related aspects. Our structural engineers, they know only moment distribution. That's all. What is moment distribution? Moment distribution is a systemized fixed one. You cannot give any creativity. Suppose if you know the moment distribution, okay, you are a very good calculator. But where is your creativity? If it's a midspan moment and support reinforcement, and if you calculate, if you go and open our SP16 and look at that one, MU divided by BD square and factor, and you are looking at the percentage of still putting them this thing, you call yourself as a great engineer. Really, many times I used to laugh, but I never saw all these things. I used to laugh at many structural engineers, what people are doing. But structural engineering also, we are having creativity. We are having a lot of moment theory and best theory available in Russian codes and all these things. Even if you use the Russian codes, and many people from Indian Institute of Science, they are teaching, and the Russian codes, and the minimum reinforcement which is available based on our theory is 0.12% in the for slab and something like that. The same way minimum reinforcement column is defined in our IS 456. The minimum reinforcement for beam and slab, flat slab, everything is. But in Russian code, even it is less than that. If you follow that particular Russian theory, for example, there is one theory called the Marcus theory and something like that. And I have learned all these things when I discussed with engineer SP Srinivasan and something like that. Even after having done the design, the percentage of reinforcement in slab is less than what it is indicated in Indian code. But it is not possible for you to design for the government, because they ask you to follow the National Building Code and something like that. But in private, you can use this kind of code. But this is but National Building Code allows this kind of creativity and innovation wherever it is available. Even when I was discussing with Subhash Mehrotra, and he was a very good structural engineer, he was giving a lot of information. He has developed a lot of theory on this, this ductility of the, this slab, ductility of the slab, and how to use, how to make use of the particular configuration, geometry configuration and everything, and how to do the analysis and everything. It is an exclusive theory he has developed. And Professor Mahesh Tandon also, he has developed a very excellent theory in the super, SSD, in the flyovers and all these things. in the geometric configuration, in along with structural designs, and he has not only considered the 2-dimensional, he has considered the 3-dimensional. In addition to that one, any other forces which is coming, view of seismic and all this, he has developed the theory and all these things. That is called professionalism. But that NBC is every sentence NBC is addressing the same thing. For example, now I come to this group 2. You see, in the previous one, you have got, part 11 approach to sustainability is there. It is the group of this thing, information for users about availability of the code provisions, each incorporating the related part section dealing with particular area of building activity. The group 1 is nothing but development, building, planning related aspects. Okay. The another one is what it says. You see, integrated approach prerequisite for applying, the first 0 is coming. Then structural design, this particular topic which is selected is coming. Then what happens? Approach to sustainability, again it's coming here. You see, in this group, again it's coming, approach to sustainability, group 2. And group 3, it is also again, the approach to sustainability is part 11, it's coming here. So here you have to understand, whenever you group anything, you should not leave the sustainable, analysis. It is very important. It is not only one thing. It is not only it is not only talking about carbon dioxide only. There are many things: energy conservation, economy, safety, environmental and negative impact. All these things. You think environmental negative impact? See, carbon footprint you can allow it, but what limit? You got to do the analysis. You must know the methodologies. But how many state government or how many municipalities they have created a methodology or suggested a methodology so that a engineer will be able to calculate this approach to sustainability. He will submit after any project. I have submitted for me the same apartment which I am sitting here right now in 1992. I have sent a technical note to the government regarding my apartment and everything. There I have mentioned everything about what is soil water interaction and rainwater harvesting. Other people they know it very well. That time a commissioner, he was a commissioner in Madurai, now he is a commissioner in Chennai. He came and visited, these things, something like that, which we created everything before the government imposed this one act. We have done it. What is sustainability is, you see here, if any building, any building which fulfills all the needs, for example, water, for example, energy, for example, this water treatment and everything without depending upon the municipality or corporation, we can allow that particular building to construct as many sites you want. But here people give restrictions. You have to construct only 16 feet, 16 meters or 5-story building, 6-story building. But people talk, I am a great structural engineer. But many people are here. Even William Becker come to India, Tamil Nadu or Bangalore, he will be never allowed to design for even 50-story building. But because he is there in US, but somebody in Dubai, they are giving opportunity to construct. When I was discussing with him, just like that, when the first question I asked him, which building you consider you done very well and outstanding building? He told me ground plus 1 kilometer in front of Mr. Sundaram and other our friends. Then I surprised, then okay, he is the person who designed that building. Okay, ground plus 1 kilometer. Here, you see, any structural engineer can claim their pride like this. The same 16 meter, because everybody is having talent. I'm not talking about the talent. We are having talent, but the government and municipalities, they never allow you to do this kind of tallest building, even if you have the knowledge of sustainability and asset management and facilities and all these things. It is a problem. So that means what? If whatever money we are spending, whether it is your money or my money, ultimately Indian money, but the Indian money is being forcefully buried by these municipalities and corporations because they don't give any space for innovation and creativity. But National Building Code suggests all those things. That is why I have brought these, titles, all these things. You see the lighting, electrical, air conditioning, acoustics, installation, escalators, and information. Approach to. You see, I never seen with any architect. Many engineers are doing it. At least in Andhra, people are doing. Some engineers are doing. And many engineers who are practicing architecture, they are doing it. I have seen at least from my friends when I ask them. You see, many people don't, whenever I meet an architect and something like that, I ask the question, how much electricity the ordinary TV is consuming, and how much electricity the computer is consuming, and how much electricity your bulb. When you ask this question, nobody knows about it, but they are claiming that, they are the people who can handle all the building studies and all these things. See, we have to, because we are writing a letter here and there, but, we are not, engineers are not, coming from, some other country. We are citizen of this country. We have been given a degree by the AICT. AICT is a statutory body. Since AICT has not recognized this architect degree, that is why they created this Council of Architecture. First, purpose of creating Council of Architecture is to recognize that degree. That's all. What else? But, we engineers, we unnecessarily give popularity for, architects and all these things. We make them as a bug. No, it is not like that. It is like a German system. In German, what happens, whenever you pass from any recognized university, you are a eligible person, you are having statutory status. So statutory status is based on your degree. Then it is called graduate attributes. After that, only professional attribute comes. Professional attribute in the competency is a secondary one. That is, it depends upon your willingness. That cannot be questioned. You see, group 5, integrated approach prerequisite for applying provision code. You see, the 0 and 11, part 11, it comes in all the 5 groups. And in all 5 groups, whenever you do anything, you have to do this analysis. So, for example, aspect to plumbing services and solid waste management. How many people know, solid waste management, how to dispose the waste, and what are the various type of waste? How many people know it? Whether you take architect or engineers, whether we are doing any course, or whether the government or municipality given directions, any code. See, based on this, NBC is sensitizing. Yeah, be careful. This is like this. This is like this. The NBC has given a torch light for the government, not for the professional engineers. They have given this torch light. NBC code is nothing but a torch light which is given to the state government, local bodies, corporations, and the corporation must use this torch light and lead the people in a right path. But they are holding the torchlight. Ultimately, they are making this country, people, everything, to fall down into the trench. It is what is happening now. You see the architecture and that performance, durability, all these things. Many people are talking about durability. I have seen more theses, the concrete theses. Whenever I go and visit any university, whenever I visit any library, there you see many doctorate only in concrete. But how many of those theses findings are allowed to implement in the field? Please think about it. Then tips, the information contained in different groups will serve the concerned professionals dealing with the respective areas. Concerned professionals dealing with respective areas. However, it is advisable that professionals essentially dealing with any of the above groups should also refer the other groups. Here people say, one engineer, he will go and put his hands on his hip. Sir, what to do? Don't do surveying and all this, don't worry. Then don't do this geotechnical investigation and all. Sir, how many points? Only 1 point you do it. The structural engineer. See, civil engineer is having a lot of disadvantages. Who is this structural engineer to, poke his nose into the jurisdiction of geotechnical engineer? Who is this structural engineer poke his nose into the, this project management? Who is this structural? I've been seeing. It is my experiences. Because of my friends, I know I never, told them. But unless otherwise, you take the money for the particular profession. You see, as being a civil engineer, you practice structural engineer. I like it. You being a civil engineer, you practice geotechnical. I like it. You being a civil engineer, you practice construction management. Nothing wrong. But you must take money for each and every activity from the client. Unless otherwise. But nowadays, how structural engineers are, being practiced. At that time, why I migrated from structural engineering to infrastructure. Why I migrated from building structures to infrastructure design means, why? Because they will appoint you as a structural engineer. They will ask you to do the project management and everything until the building is over. I said to the architect, no, unless otherwise you pay it, we cannot do it. Per square feet rate and something. Nowadays, per square feet rate and all people are doing it. And ultimately they are grubbing and everything. I have already made a presentation about, how many buildings are safer in India, how much money is being buried into the soil with documentation. I have made many presentations, many times. All over India, I have done that presentation. People have seen that. But why, people are, poking their noses in somebody else's jurisdictions unless otherwise they are authorized. What I am claiming is structural engineer has right to practice geotechnical engineering. Structural engineer has right to practice project management. But unless otherwise you are paid, you are appointed, don't interfere in that. And many structural engineers, please touch your heart and tell me how many boreholes are to be done for every 10,000 square feet. You tell me which code to be referred and how to be done. No, but ultimately they say all the reports are done by people. They write on the desk. Yeah, people write everything on the desk only. People don't write everything on the road. First, you must curtail your words and when you make any comments. But many people like me, we don't make any comments whenever any decision is coming to me on the table or something like that. But even I don't inform to the people personally also because I simply laugh. In my mind, just I laugh and I will leave it. But though I am, little bit, brave man and something like that, I never inform the mistake also because they become, they created their, the fence, around them because of their attitude and this thing. The problem we confront is approved testing agency. Now I am asking this government, state government, municipalities, who is approved testing agency? You tell me, who is going to investigate? How you are going to this thing? Registered professional. Who is registered professional? You tell me. Approved consultant, competent authority, approved contractor and builder, registered architect. Then what is regulation and registration of profession as per WTO guards about EMF, ETMF, etc. My dear friends, I want to inform all the people. You take medicine, you take law, you take these auditors, you take these architects, or whoever is having statutory status for the practice in this country, they are not being legislated as well as regulated as per the act. For your information, you tell me how many architects are blacklisted from the Council of Architecture? Is there any legislative action when any building collapses there? I can show 100 buildings in my own city, which is constructed by the architects, which face, very serious distresses. What is the meaning for that? Without knowing, without consulting the proper, the concerned engineers in the particular area. So even if I show 100 buildings, or I can show 1,000 buildings in our state, even 10,000 buildings in our state. But where is the legislation? That is why people create some act, but no act is working. And also CPD is very important. Continuous professional development. How many professional societies? You see doctors, whether the doctors, they are submitting the CPD to the government and to renew this thing, like, you think all the doctors are equal? I agree with one thing, all the doctors who are working in the government, really, hats off to them. They are working like anything, for, per day in the OP, one doctor is looking at more than 2,000 patients, 3,000 patients. Really, it's a great thing. But, because of his work burden, he is doing it. Still people are doing it. I guess in the doctors, many doctors are working really good. But whether the same thing is available in other places, no. But if one doctor is performing good job, it is not the another doctor is good. But what is system? That is why you ask me. There is no system. I am not telling this system is not correct. There is no system in place for regulation and legislation of any profession in this country. If anybody want to challenge, please challenge with me. Because there is no system. System means, You see, suppose what if I call any, I told you, if I call you any car as a system, it must have steering, it must have side mirror, it must have wheels and everything, brake and all these things. But in medicine, there is no CPD. In architect, no CPD. As well as landscape architect or anybody, no CPD and something like that. But at least for engineers, we have introduced recently, we have been doing it, but that is a different case. And people may say and something like that. We want to demonstrate this country what is legislation and regulation of profession. That's why we have created some mechanism in this country based on engineers. But in India only, in no country will, for example, you take any professionals, no professional in any country will go to the government, sir, please regulate us and legislate us. But in India only, all the engineers are going and telling the people, government, please regulate me and legislate me. My dear engineers, you all are already regulated by Civil Defence Act. Already you are regulated by Consumer Act. Already you are regulated by Municipality Act, and there are some more act. There are more than 100 acts are there for the engineers. You are regulated whenever you are working, and you are regulated. But the legislation is there for engineers. One of the senior engineer was here practicing in Madurai. He was a valuer. He's a very popular engineer, very powerful engineer. But I happen to be with him always. But when I attained 82 years, he received one letter from Valuer Association and one bank. The bank has written a letter, sir, since you have crossed more than 80 years, we may not be able to consider your valuation certificate as for the following reason. Something they have written, because you're above 80 years, judgment, there will be a deficiency in judgment, deficiency in all these things. But he is a very popular engineer. He showed me this letter. Anyway, it's a good one. I like it. What he told me is nothing, Ratnavel. Anyway, we should not claim, after 80 years, I may be mentally strong, but all the engineers are not strong. But we must accept this letter. He told me. That is called legislation. That is called regulation. And the bank has written. But like this, many people being blacklisted as a valuer in many banks. In engineering, this is happening. And many contractors being blacklisted. And many engineers being blacklisted by the PWD and government. It's all happening. But I never seen in any other profession something like that. But we are looking for some different kind of mechanism, which is not at all going to be helpful for our engineers at large. Administration. Okay, now what this administration is, scope and terminology and everything. I think another 10 minutes I will take and I will finish it off. See, this is all available in our this thing, like scope, terminology, applicability of code, interpretation, alternative material methods, design and construction, and test. See, this is very important. The 5th chapter is very, very important. Department of Buildings, power and duties of team of building officials, board of appeals, violation and penalties, power to make rules and all these things. You see, whether you go to Karnataka, whether you go to Bihar, Uttar Pradesh or Delhi or everywhere, you see, when I was studying in Delhi in 1977, the Delhi was very beautifully, maintained and something like that. Now, I am unable to walk on the road. It's worse than a village. Even my family members, whenever I take them to Delhi and show them, this is a place, this is a place. When I show them, they say, oh, what is nonsense? This is all dirtiest city and something like that. They are not preferring to coming to Delhi with me because Delhi is being spoiled like anything. But whenever you have, even Chandigarh also, gone. And, in Bombay, you see the potholes. When I recently 2 years back, and myself and some of our friends from Bangalore, we attended one this thing there. When the chief engineer of particular metro and this thing like that, he asked me about, sir, why these potholes and everything develop in the road and all these things, how to estimate and all these things. I told him, sir, the potholes in Bombay is more than the population of this Bombay. You take the population, multiply with 3, this is called your potholes. Then you estimate. You take the approximate this thing and you estimate. It is something like that. You see, Bombay is a very business city. You are not able to do the good road. You are unable to do that. Why it is not possible? But anyway, that is coming into the transportation and all these things. But now I am coming to the buildings administration. You see, these 5 chapters very important. These 10 chapters. Powers to make the rules, violation of penalties, board of appeals, and this thing like. Please remember all these things. Sir, here, see, every topic is having, every topic needs good system. See, applicability of the code. See, where to, what the National Building Code says, and what is your particular city, and what is the minimum rainfall and maximum rainfall, what is geographical condition, whether it is a heritage city or not, whether it is a newly developed city, and what is supposed to be the traditional one, what is supposed to be the historical one, what is supposed to be the the contemporary. All this categorization, everything is available only with some people, and it is not addressed to the people, addressed to the citizens, and they don't know. Many people don't know. They have to create a system for that. Then they have to interpret the National Building Code in the particular local language. And alternative material is very important. For example, if you go to Rajasthan, you get marbles. If you are in Karnataka, in Bangalore, you get very good granites and everything. But in Madurai, we get all these very good high class granite, but it is very scarce material. But still, but in Madurai, people are using lot of marbles and importing from Rajasthan. And Rajasthan is importing lot of granites from Madurai. So all these things, alternative. So where is the system in place in any, both in Rajasthan as well as in Tamil Nadu as well as in Karnataka? But I am very happy in the old Bangalore. The old Bangalore, people used the local materials for road and pavement, solder and everything. But now it is not there. That is why? Because lack of system creation. And Department of Buildings. Okay, what is Department of Building? Where it is connected? Who is looking after? What is his qualification? What is the procedure? SOP must be there. System of procedure. But system of procedure, everything is there. How the system of procedure is there? Whenever you go, sir, you have to give the document, bunch of papers. This is the system. Nobody reads all these things. Guide for qualification and competence of professionals. If, for example, in Tamil Nadu, they will write the National Building Code says minimum qualification, but here for designing any building which is more than 16 meters, you should be a MTech and doctorate. And what happened to the people who are coming from IITs and NITs? You see, in IITs, the whole structural, composite structure, everything, structural analysis 1, 2, 3, 4. In addition to that one, concrete design. In addition to that one, steel design. In addition to that one, composite design, earthwork design. More than 10 courses over for UG. That time, BTech students, 5-year course, they have done more than 10 courses. In addition to that one, they will do the high-rise building in the project, individual project, and something like that. If any BTech student coming from this thing passed out in somewhere else, and now he is unable to design anything, but wherever MTech guys also they are coming. But the ME degree in right now, you go and take in the structural engineering. But geopolymer is a very good project, but the structural engineers, they do some geopolymer project, and they, after passing the degree, ME structures, how these geopolymer material dealings, a person who dealt with material in his project, how he shall be a good structural engineer compared to the NIT and IITs? Because they have created like that. But how will he get the building? But even people who passed out from Coimbatore PhD, he is a very good person. He is having more than 40 years, 45 years. He is 3 years or 4 years senior to me. Now he is having only BE degree. He is unable to practice. What about his 40 years experiences? Yesterday, day before yesterday, some group of engineers association, they went and they have created all these things. Who is going to punish these engineers? Proletariats. Who is going to punish those bureaucrats who does not understand the NBC? What NBC says? NBC is clearly said they have given opportunity. Minimum qualification means it must be a diploma holder or engineering across the world. If you are a diploma holder, you are called as an engineering technician across the world as per WTO norms and everything. If you are that is called baccalaureate degree, it is called undergraduate degree. It is more than sufficient. Your MTech and PhD, and here some doctorate also they have mentioned. Doctorate is not a minimum degree. It is a research. And research also they will take one topic, they will create some grade, and they will try to find out the 200, 300 stresses at a different level, and they will try to arrive some, try to prove some hypothesis. See, that is not a structural engineering. Practice is, that is why practice is, you must have a graduate attribute. A person must have knowledge of, complete knowledge of basic science, engineering arts. It is available across the country. If you go to any bloody poor university, they are teaching basic science and engineering arts all very well. But in department only, people change the subjects and all this. It depends upon the head of the department, professors, and the knowledge of the vice chancellors and everything. But basic sciences at school level, as well as our engineering level, as well as our arts college level, is very excellent. But these basic science, these things are very important for getting into any type of innovation, creativity, research, all these things. But without that, you cannot do it. But this one already over. ME people, they don't read any mathematics. There is no mathematics at all, nothing. They will, you take geotechnical or structures, this environmental science. It's all bloody, these courses, the courses, they are not addressing the issues properly. They take something. I will take geopolymer. I will take soil stabilization. I will take something. They will do simple this thing. They will spend the time and come out. 40 credits or 50 credits they complete. But in the UG level, everybody has to complete 240 credits. In those period, I'm talking about those period. People are having it. Now, National Building Code very correctly addressed, but our state governments are not at all following it. You go to Haryana, even very top level engineers, which I the names, few names I mentioned half an hour before in Delhi and all these things. Many of the senior most engineers, MS degree is not recognized, sir. MS degree, one of our senior person, and he is a very popular man, everybody knows him and something like that. And he got a communication from Haryana state that he is not eligible to sign the particular plan and something like that. Whereas he created a lot of infrastructure and all these things.
Ratnavel, sorry for interruption. I think you can kindly wind up because we have to finish the program by 6:15. 6:15, including question
Okay.
answer and 10 minutes to Ultratech. So
now, shall I finish within 10 minutes?
No, you said that 10 minutes ago.
Sir, my time is there. Okay, thank you very much for reminding me. Anyway, annexures, you see, what happens nowadays? They give this much annexures. Nobody reads all these things. What is qualification, this and that. And people just to fill it up. Who is going to fill it up? And sometimes people sign it, but I have seen many of the classes all vacant. No, sir, we will fill it up and we will ask the particular fellow and we will fill it up and something like that. But whenever you go there, many of the application forms are not at all filled properly. They have not followed anything. Only they got the signature, they put the seal in the name of degrees and something like that. These many, people are, submitting it. This you see. Guide for qualification and competence of professionals and form for first application development. All these things everybody must be knowing it. It's all already available there. See, essential requirements. This is what the qualification of architect, engineer, structural engineer, geotechnical engineer, supervisor, town planner, landscape architect, urban designer, utility service engineer. But see, whatever they have given, it is not this limit. It should not have limit like this. What is this? It's not possible. But they have given a guidelines. But the local body must train the local professionals, and sensitize with the document of the National Building Code along with the local SOP procedures. Then only they can construct a productive buildings, durable buildings, and safe buildings with energy conservation, economy, safety. But National Building Code, they have addressed everything. They leave the more than 75% of the responsibilities to the state government and local government. No local government came forward to create their total SOP for each and everything and something like that. And here also, just I want to show only one thing. Issuing certificate of supervision, one more I will tell you. Yeah. You see, for example, you see, take an architect. Preparation of all plans and information connected with building permit, except engineering services of high-rise buildings. See, architect also restricted in particular, this thing. But architect is not allowed to do everything. As some of the engineers, we believe. But what this 12.2.5.1 says, it will come later. Anyway, this structural engineer qualification is, you see, structural engineers will be graduate in civil engineering. You see, they have very well mentioned, recognized by that. See, our corporate member of Civil Engineering Division of Institution of Engineers India. Okay. And with minimum 3 years experience in structural engineering practice with the design field and something like that. Here, it's a very important thing is, for engineer, you see, preparation of all services and plants information connected, you see, supervisions, and a registered engineer shall be competent to carry out the work related to building development permit as given below. Preparation of all plans information connected with building permit, structural details and calculation. Here you see, engineers have been given all responsibilities and all services. But whereas for architects, there is a exemption and they've been barred. But all our engineers must note this point very importantly, and we should not think that architect have Himalayan powers or something like that. They are boundaryless privileges or something like that. And we engineers, we are not talking about the privileges, but we engineers are talking about the responsibilities and this accountability of all these things. See, the 3 years experience will be relaxed to 2 years in the case of postgraduate degree recognized in Indian and foreign universities. Here, very important. Suppose if you are going to the any municipalities or government and something like that, you must have some little knowledge to address about it. What is the difference between graduate engineer? What is the difference between people who are having MTech degree and PhD and all these things? MTech and PhD is, of course, it is a degree, additional degree, but it is called the experiences. It is not a minimum qualification. If any state like Haryana or Tamil Nadu or Andhra Pradesh also, they are also trying to create this kind of law. Recently, in WhatsApp, I have seen the message. Please go and address the people. Minimum qualification is only, this diploma holders and this thing like that. If we have more degree, please have it, but you will get exemption in this experiences only, not from this thing like. So if you have ME degree, you take the exemption. Instead of 5 years experience for the minimum 3 years experience structural engineering, here people say this thing. See, about 10, 15, 20 years back, when I was in Chennai, the particular Chennai Corporation invited me to fix the qualification for all these things. Then I called some of our friends from some of our senior members from Coimbatore. I discussed with them. Sir, here people are trying to fix this ME as a basic degree or something like that and something. Then I discussed. Then, that time I remember, and some of our senior members, they informed me, Ratnavel, you see, that time, now people are having more than 30 years, 25 years experiences. We are doing structural design and all these things. That time, even if we want to study ME structures, it was not available in a university. Even if I apply it, we will get only 5 seats available in one college, another 5 seats available, this thing like. Suppose if I am not able to do the ME course there, that means I am unable to practice now. Now, see, this kind of rules must have been planned 20 years back so that we would have completed ME, and also government would have given an opportunity for those kind of engineers to study ME. But those period they have allowed only 10 people to study in the whole of state in structural engineering. Now they are fixing the rules, and this is something like that. So it is very important, and PhD and MTech is only for experiences. It is not a minimum qualification at all. Even our engineers, please don't go and support, otherwise you will not get justice in the court. And competence, you see, qualification is different, competence is different. The competence, already I told you, competence is not counting years by fingers. Competence is, competence must be claimed by the responsible engineer. Competence must be claimed by me. Competence cannot be assessed by any third party or fourth party or government and all these things. I am going and saying, you see, I am giving latest methodology. I have done latest lot of methodologies, system dynamics and all these things, which is not at all addressed in any of the university. Suppose if I go and say, I have designed this earthquake resistant building by using system dynamics, means I am the expert. Who is going to look into that one? Suppose if you want me to look into that one, then I have to go abroad or somewhere else, premier institution, or 1 or 2 person only, I have to take it and design. It's not like that. But what to do is, what is the practice in the international level is, suppose if we practice the same thing in Dubai or some other countries and something, that's according to my, this thing, what I say is, they will take all the document and everything, structural design, calculation, report and everything, they will put it and seal it, and that this thing, that I have to declaration. So taking responsibility. I am taking all responsibility if anything deficiency found, and I am taking all the accountability and everything you have to write and give. If anything is there, if anything damage, any deficiency is found in particular this thing by the public or by the government or later on or during the performance, you are liable for that. But before it is coming into the picture, they say, no, sir, it will not work, this and that and something. Definitely. Then please, all politicians, I request all the, don't talk about innovation, don't talk about creativity, don't talk about energy conservation, don't talk about economy, don't talk about environmental and all these things. Yeah, if we talk about all these things, you must allow the people to perform with innovative ideas. And every engineer I request, you should not repeat any solution for any buildings. Suppose if I do give one solution for today's problem, tomorrow I must improve, I must give a different solution so that I will fulfill of the all these energy conservation, economic safety and all these things. But straight away cut and paste copy, if you do it like this, no. Even if you do 100 5-year plan, our country will not improve, our taxpayers money will be drained off. It's all controlled by, it must be, but some of the highway department, they are doing it very well. I am very happy. I am interacting with the highway department, whether it's a state level highway department or our central level highway department, national highway and all. They are a lot of chief engineers, they are encouraging it. They are encouraging it. But even here, and the roof level design, structural engineer only moment frame design. Okay, you think moment frame is structural design? Why you are not going for grid structures? Why you are not going for cell structures? Why you are not going for light roofing and all these things? Only the beam and slab. We know moment distribution, you are structural engineer. So this is what's happening. But this thing, the geotechnical engineering, what is happening means, I will tell you, all over the India, they want only one report. One report is standard penetration test. That's all. It is a diploma course, 1-2 days course. And you have to go to the field. You have to drill, even if you will drill 1 hole or 2 hole or 3 hole or something like that, you have to prepare the report. Sir, this N value is this parameter is like this. If you know the N value, you shall be able to write all the parameters just to give it. That's all. That's all. Okay. For that, why do you require MTech and doctorate? And the Tamil Nadu government, they have fixed. They must be ashamed of all these things. What is there? Only SPT, any diploma holder, if he is a very good technician, he can set up a lab and he can do it and he can support the structural engineers and something like that. But definitely structural engineers never allow the geotechnical engineers to survive because they have been suppressed by the architects, and structural engineers always trying to suppress the geotechnical engineers and government, they will suppress this standard penetration test. Is a great theory. Only PhD people, MTech people only can do it. See, all these things you must look at it. But I am very happy NBC addressed it very clearly. But this is the only one test, 2 days course, and it's more than enough to produce only report. But after that, what type of foundation decision and all these things, you use a PhD and you use anybody and something like that. If it is soft soil and something like that, that's a different thing. Competence. Okay, for supervisor already they have given, and all these competence are there. But whatever I am showing, why I am showing all these things is National Building Code is very reasonably justifying their activities and guidelines and everything based on the research and everything. Because the work which they done by National Building Code in the past years, we must appreciate and we must clap. But still, I am very happy. Still, they are leaving it in loose. But in the forward itself, they have mentioned nothing mentioned is going to be the permanent one. In future, any development takes the place. Definitely, there will be a change. Even based on this document, don't do anything. But based on your local this thing, you have to create your local SOP and finish everything. But this is the builder and constructor. So far, no, nothing is. You see, they have mentioned everybody. You see, architect, engineer, geotechnical, everybody can be architect, everybody can be a contractor and something like that. This is also, they have given all the choices, but the government must, the corporation must come and, regulate all the contractors because they are the executors and they must have the minimum knowledge of dealing with the local rules and regulation and everything, how to do the marking. See, engineer is good. Architect is good, structural engineer is good, and everybody is good. But if it is, handed over to the poor contractor, see, he will mark differently. Instead of giving 15 feet, if he mark, with 12 feet and something like that, tomorrow the owner will suffer. All these things are there.
Okay, please. I think we should try to wind up because there might be a lot of question and answer time that is required.
Sir, thank you, sir. The local bodies fail to create sustainable mechanisms so that all graduates get opportunities to practice in their preferred field. A guide for equivalent technical qualification and professional experience required for such registration with the authority is given in annex. In case of building any plumbing services, plumbing services, we don't have this thing also. And in case of registered professional associated with preparation of signing and plans for supervision is being changed during the stage. So this is also very important, but people do it on their own and ultimately they will blame. Recently when Mauliwakam failed, they have changed the structural engineer and everybody, but initially the structural engineer who signed in the plan, he was discontinued or he was expelled by the owner. But after that, he appointed his own structural engineer. But when the building collapsed, very unfortunately, both these two architects, which they terminated before the construction is started, but they have signed in the document, they were undergone unnecessary police process and all these things. This is also very important thing. As well, though the municipal bodies vested with start, this is the last slide. I think I will finish it up. Though the municipal local bodies vested with started power in registering professionals, but none of the corporation, municipalities, towns, administration developed a mechanism. The whatever mechanism which is available, only go and give the certificate and write your name. After 5 years, go and write your name. It is not called mechanism. Mechanism is mechanism which must have the proper mechanism which must scan your graduate attributes as well as your professional attributes. If you are having this mechanism, then only it is called registration. Otherwise, simply writing your name there and something like that will not help. The municipal body has not prepared suitable mechanism for educating the various classes addressed by NBC in 3 volumes. As well, professional societies too have not created any such intensive initiatives. Okay, NBC has suggested many guidelines and all these things. Yes, our professional societies as well as local bodies, they never take this document to the people. It must reach the local people, and we must create a subject, something like that. Every year we are celebrating some function in the particular city. The same way, every year we have to update the research knowledge which is collected from various corners of this country by the NBC through this mechanism and municipalities and everybody. But so far, no such system is taking place, and people still living in before 1947 during the King's period. But even after democracy is attained, people are not, still we are underdeveloped. Studying NBC and implementation of various classes with later code provision needs with creative and innovative state of approach to construct buildings with the energy conservation, economic safety, and free from negative environmental impact with available resources without making public decisions. But even after more than 6 decades, all government failed and create concrete jungles. It is not fit for human occupancy. Engineers have to, this is also very great thing. You see, very important point. This is the last slide, I think. Engineers have to register in every corporation and municipalities. If I want to go there, I have to go to Coimbatore, Chennai, Bangalore, and every. But people talk about one country. The outdated municipal rules need re-engineering the mechanism so that one registration will do in all municipalities and corporations. It can be done by one GO. As per the consultation and discussion with the people, I am telling this one. Already municipalities having power. If the government give the GO to sensitize the municipalities, it is possible to have the one registration, like one ration card, one nation, something like that. One engineering professional will be leader in coordination of experts and shall take all responsibility. Here, what I want to say is, you don't have to have the knowledge, don't worry about it. But a leader must give the responsibility for the building and accountability. He will collect all the required experts and everybody so that he shall be able to give the productivity. Suppose if we give the leader for the productivity and other these things and expertism and all these things, it is not possible in India. Here, we must prefer only one leader who will come forward to give the responsibility for the particular building. No growth, no development. You see, this very important thing I used to say wherever I go there, vision-based approach. You know, if any country want to be the developed country, you must have vision-based approach. I never seen in my life. Symptom-based approach. At least when symptom comes, you should, take some kind of, remedies and something. It is also not there. And crisis-based approach. No, in the crisis-based approach, Indians, bureaucrats and politicians, including technocrats, know how to act. That they are technocrats and something like that. That's all. Sorry. As long as we never allow potential people to perform, we shall not claim that we are developed nation. Thank you, sir. So nice of you for your nice patient hearing, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Ratnavel. We can understand the amount of involvement that you have had for so many decades. It is difficult to contain you to speak less than 2 or 3 hours.
No. You have given me enough time, sir. Don't worry. You have given me enough time. 1.5 hours is very high. You have given me enough time. I was very comfortable. Thank you very much. Only thing is, if I make any statement, something brutal statement, something like that, don't personalize anything. I am speaking on behalf of you only. On behalf of my engineers.
Okay. So we'll give you 5 to 8 minutes rest now. Actually, I'll request the representative.
No, rest. You can finish ask the people.
No. The standard practice is that there is a 5 to 8 minutes gap where the where Ultratech will present some snippets. Then again, we'll come to you for question and answer. So
anyway, I may not be able to read all these things.
Don't worry,
please.
we will ask. So
whatever question raised by moderator on behalf of our participants, I will answer that only.
Don't worry. We will handle it.
Okay, thank you so much. So nice of you, sir. Thank you.
May I request Santosh Kori from Ultratech Cement to present the snippet for the day.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Is my screen available, visible?
Yes.
Yeah.
Started. Not fully available yet. Yes. Go to screen mode, please.
Yeah.
Slide mode. Yeah.
Just a minute.
Okay, if it doesn't
Okay.
slide mode, you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
continue.
There's some technical glitches. Okay, sir. Thank you once again. Yeah, now it has come.
Does come. Yeah.
Thank you, Ratnavel sir. It was a very informative session. So I hope I will just finish in 5 minutes. I will not take much time. So I'll be speaking on repairs, issues, and solutions. So this is the topic I'm going to discuss with you. So maintenance of concrete structures. As we need to monitor, as we monitor our health, so periodic checkup, by doing periodic checkups or by taking vaccinations and all, so that whatever the minor symptoms are there which not lead to the major illness. Similarly, the maintenance of concrete structures also needs a regular checkup. We should to be treated initial stage itself to by doing it minor repair work. So ignoring minor repairs will always lead to the major problems in future, which will be a costly affair. Now, this is exactly what happens when we won't concentrate or we don't pay attention to our structures. So that is why I said a proper maintenance has to be done to our buildings. Okay. Now, reasons for this distress in concrete structures. Maybe it may be due to the weathering effect. It may be an aging. It may be due to the external applied loads, error in designing, construction overloads, drying shrinkages. It may be due to the corrosion, chemical reaction, thermal stresses, and number of reasons are involved for causing distress in concrete structures. Now, coming to the repairs, there are various types of repairs. So various types of repairs in the sense like it may be strengthening of your structural members, repairing of bridges, canal linings. It may be application of mortars for your buildings, repairing of your heavy structures, jacketings, or just I can say what I can say is cosmetic treatment on surfaces, partial replacement of surface and substrate materials, total dislocation it may be, or it may be by adding an additional reinforcement and bonding materials to strengthen the elements. So different types of repair works are involved in this. Now, why this deterioration happens basically? It may be due to the spalling of concrete covers, cracks parallelly to the reinforcement, spalling at edges, swelling of your concrete, or it may be due to the dislocation. Now, it is very important to consider essential parameters while considering the repair materials. Whatever the repair materials which are being used should ensure a good bond strength with existing substrate. It should have a less shrinkage properties, a good workability, very minimal curing to avoid the water scarcity. If there is a water scarcity, we should avoid that. Very minimal curing or no curing is also a good. Low air entrant and low water permeability. That is very, very important. And it should be a non-hazardous and non-polluting. So these are the essential parameters which needs to be considered while using the repair materials. Now, as solutions, yes, as I discussed about the various parameters or various issues, these are the various solutions available. For an example, when you're going for a repairing, latex-based a bonding agent is must and should. So just to have what I say is just to confirm that whatever you are applying on that particular substrate, it should bond properly. Okay. Then if I talk about the anti-corrosive coating of the steel bars, that's exactly what you see over there. The steel bars are exposed. The spalling of concrete you can see over there. In such cases, we need to enforce with the new steel bars, or else we need to remove the whatever the rust formation is occurred in that, and then we have to treat with the anti-corrosive coating kind of a thing. And of course, when it comes to the mortars, yes, these mortars which should have a high strength material. It should have a good bonding properties and all. Then, especially it depends upon the walls, wherever that depends upon the area of the applications where you are using, whether it may be a column or there may be. So that material should have a good bonding properties. So these are the various solutions are available. Okay, with the different types of repairs, whether it may be, again I'm repeating, it may be plaster repairs, whether it be jacketing of your structural members, anti-corrosive coating, repairing of bridges, canal linings, application of repairs and mortars. It may be heavy structures, it may be the injection grouting, then or it may be a high strength of patch repair over concretes. So these are the different solutions are available. So thank you once again. Thank you.
Thank you so much for a crisp presentation. Now we move on to the question answer session pertaining to Ratnavel's topic. Those as is our practice, we will request people who want to ask questions to raise hands so that we will permit them to come in and ask the question on their own. Otherwise, I will read the questions from the chat box and Q&A. Anybody who wants to ask personally can raise their hand, and then we will permit them to come in. Okay. I don't see any hand going up. Maybe, yeah, Shrikant.
Somebody has to start, sir.
Yeah, Shrikant is
Seminar.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. See, this NBS is mandatory, which I know, and
Sir, your voice is breaking.
Shrikant, your voice is
Union
breaking.
government to make it, like whatever.
Shrikant, your signal is breaking. We are not able to hear what you are saying. Could you
Clear
do
now?
something about it?
Sir, now it is clear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sir, instead of making it, voluntary or recommendatory, why don't you convince the union government and make this NBC itself as a mandatory thing and to implement in the state laws, and what is the way to take it forward, and what is your vision in that regard? Because you are most experienced in all these activities for engineers bill and some other activities, and you are already there in engineering council also. So please explain how can we take it forward.
My dear Srikanth, voluntary means it is giving the space for the state government, municipalities to fine tune the given recommendation only. But otherwise, it is mandatory. For your information, I think you must be involving in arbitration and all. If any dispute arises in the department or CPWD or PWD or any other department in buildings, ultimately NBC only will solve the problem. So that case, there were many courts, they have considered only NBC. Unless otherwise, you have alternative ideas, solutions, and something like that. If we have identical parallel solution, for example, NBC say X. Suppose if you are giving the solution Y, it must be identical to X. Identical to X. Otherwise, this Y is questioned. Then only then the X becomes mandatory in the NBC. So unless otherwise you have identical solutions with proper document and something like that, NBC is the final one. It is a mandatory. It is only speaks in the arbitration and all. Many arbitration people use only NBC and BAS and all these things. So we should not voluntary means it is giving the privilege and the space for the government to fine tune it. Otherwise, this is the final. This is my opinion.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Talgal, can I speak? Sir, will you give me a chance?
Yes, sir. Jain Saab, please go ahead.
Sir, I'm
Please,
fifth or
please.
sixth of the series in the lecture. Professionalism in civil engineering is a very, when it came.
Your signal is not coming through. Your voice is not coming through uninterrupted, but it is getting.
Can you hear me? Hello.
We are hearing you, but not full sentences, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead. No, we can't hear you now, sir.
So I feel, sir, those people, participants, as well as profession, what the civil engineers can do, and how the civil engineering profession has changed in last 20 years. Whether it is in case of design, whether it's case of execution, whether it is in case of materials and upkeep and maintenance. So some inspiring thing. And we should also showcase the achievements and the new technologies that have been adopted in civil engineering for bringing better structures, more durable structures, and how to optimize the uses, sustainability. All these how civil engineers are contributing, and some showcase of some projects where people can take away out after this seminar, and they can emulate and use it in their work. So I think that will also be a worthwhile.
I request Kalkul to answer this question.
Yes, sir. I got your suggestion that addition to whatever is planned, you are suggesting that we should showcase, good case studies of how a professional engineer has performed, so that people take, they take inspiration from that, and they would continue to do good work. Point taken, sir. Now I'll request the organizers to see if they can add a few slots on, good case studies, which has resulted due to the engineering group being very, very professional about it. So I think I'll request Srikanth and Ranganath and others to think about this. Professor Krishnamurthy raised his hand. Sir, good evening. What would you like to say,
Yes.
sir?
I'll just take a couple of minutes.
Please,
I
sir.
enjoyed Ratnavel's passionate talk, and I know he's very frustrated. I have been frustrated not only in India, but in USA and Singapore. So all I want to say is I'm privileged to be part of the expert committee of DG Farsley, and I just want to share with you that the government, I cannot speak for the government, but my committee is reviewing the entire Factories Act from beginning to end, taking into consideration all the frustrations that have been expressed and accumulated. And to summarize, I am doing one piece of it, and I know my colleagues on the expert committee are also struggling very hard. You will see some drastic changes to bring what is many, many decades old into the current scene. So that is number one. And for instance, risk management was not at all detailed in the previous Factories Act. And I thank God and those who are responsible that I have some partial responsibility in bringing up that as one way of decreasing accidents and improving our safety culture. More than that, I cannot talk, but I congratulate him and congratulate the organizers for presenting such talks. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Good to know that अच्छे दिन आएंगे, and that risk mitigation also is included in the regulations. Let's hope that we get implemented.
So one small correction.
Yeah, go on.
See, I am not frustrated, but within this framework, I am the only person who will be able to achieve better than other of my civil engineers. I am only representing my civil engineers who are unable to achieve in this framework. But I am very comfortable with any of these challenging system. I am always successful, sir. I am very happy.
I am a
think
civil engineer too, and I'm 62 years in the job and 90 years old. So I still have some frustrations to overcome. Thank you.
Anyway, sir.
Sir, let us be positive.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So anyone else who would like to ask something? Okay, there was a question in the question and answer about the durability of buildings. Mr. Bhaskaran asked, the buildings which were built in earlier days, they exhibited longer durability, whereas the ones which are built now are not showing so much of performance. Is it due to lack of professionalism among the engineers?
No, see, everybody knows because Ultratech people taught me many things. I learned many things, and Bhaskaran also involved with me many things. And myself and Bhaskaran, the same building, he only marked for me. I took 1 month to mark this building. But anyway, because it's such a very difficult site, Bhaskaran knows that what is durability and all. Sincerity and honesty is the important ingredient along with cement, water, steel, and other fine aggregate, coarse aggregate. Bhaskaran, I told you many times, sincerity and honesty, this vibration only make the building durable. And already you have involved with me in many buildings that we have done it because of our sincerity, still it is durable. Even this building, which I am sitting right now. Yeah, that's all. Nothing to highlight more because Dr. Galkal, he came to Madurai more than 5 times. He talked about durability. Dr. Ajit, everybody addressed you. But you are asking the question right now. Huh? I don't give different answer.
Today, as moderator, is to pose the question to you. In fact, I remember in 1977, it is still green in my memory. A politician at that, a union minister in Institution of Engineers in Bangalore said, please mix anything with concrete, but not dishonesty. So
Yeah.
that is what is very, very important. And I hope most of the people who ask questions also question themselves how sincere they are in whatever they are doing. Anyone else who would like to ask questions? Otherwise, I can ask the organizers if they have some announcements. Do you have any announcements to make, Srikanth, or I can go to the vote of thanks?
Yes, sir.
Anyway, before Srikanth finishes, I would like to thank all of you. First, I would like to thank our professor, N. Krishnamurthy. He showed his face after a long time. I am very much grateful to him for having spent full 1 hour in my lecture, sir. Thank you. So nice of you. I thank all the participants and all of my friends. Please take one point of this thing. I am not, it is not a frustration. It is a vibration. This is a basic, my natural tone. Don't worry about all these things. It is possible for us to achieve in any difficult conditions. Already, all my friends, you and me and everybody, we have achieved certain things in our lifetime. We are very proud of, we must be proud of all those things. Let us not get any frustration. Thank you, sir. So nice of you.
Correct.
Thank you, Ratnavel. Srikanth, anything to say, or we can?
Yeah, we will conclude, sir.
Okay. So,
Hello.
friends, we are extremely happy that so many of you, more than 190 people were there, I think, at one point of time, who are listening to Ratnavel. Of course, Ratnavel is a very popular person. So, obviously, everybody would have come to listen to him. Srikanth, you want to say something? You raised your hand.
Sir, Mr. Shashikant want to speak. I think he has
I'm not.
chatted in the
Sir,
chat
I'm
box.
muted. 2-3 times I tried
Please,
actually.
please go ahead, sir. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Actually, my today's question was to be asked long back. I don't know how it will be taken by all our sirs today. Actually, there is a website of Council of Architects. www.gov.in. So this has flashed some months back, and I wanted to ask, but I couldn't. The problem is actually it is separately prepared for architects. When they are also into field of construction, we are also into the same field of construction. I said and I propose to challenge this, that it should not be a separate website for architects. Instead, architects and all civil engineering professionals of the field should be into only one website. It should be abolished. Everybody is respected subject to the qualification. There are also IAS, IFS, IPS. So the category wise, we are respecting the qualified, educated people of India and world. So when this is the concept and objective, then we all belong to one cadre category. Then they are also working for the same field. We should claim that there should not be separate website for Council of Architects. Instead, changing the name. All architects and civil engineering professionals should be added into one common website. Then the question doesn't arise of any discrimination. They will also feel what actually civil engineers are, and then they will understand properly. This is my claim.
Okay. Shashikant ji, I would just like to add a few sentences before I pass it on to D. Ranganath or Ratnavel, who can answer. India is a free country. Anybody can open any number of websites and run it. There is no way you can stop anybody. And Council of Architecture is a body constitutionally empowered to run their affairs under the Architects Act of 1972. So they are well within their rights to have their own website. If engineers want to have their own website, so can it be. But no government can mandate them not to have a website unless it has some anti-national credentials or things like that. Otherwise, there's no way you can do that. And also by clubbing and making one website, it doesn't mean that discriminations will go. Discriminations are much deep rooted than simple website or whatever. Anyway, maybe Srikanth or Ranganath or even Ratnavel can add to this. Srikanth, you want to say something, or Ranganath?
I would like to supplement this thing. Mr. Sasikanth, why do you worry about architect always? You see, when this Mahabharata small quote, I want to mention you and I want to leave it. Krishna asked, this all Pandavas, and who is loving me more and something, this kind of question he asked. Who is thinking of me all the time and something like that. All Pandavas and Draupadi, everybody, they started competing and they said, no, I am only doing it, I am only doing it. But what Krishna said is, no, Duryodhana is thinking of me all the time, not you people, something like that. This was his answer. So, don't think of architects all the time and something like that. You think of your own profession, you think of your own, friends, and you think of your own clients, and you think of your own, these systems and procedures. And architects, according to me, architects are not at all barrier, for my, profession so far, or for my friends' profession in and around here so far. But if you go to Devanagari, people are having architect and civil engineer association joined together. You go to Coimbatore, they are having very good relations and something like that. But artificially, we are only creating problem that architects and something like that. Let us not talk about architects are barrier for our growth or something like that. You please concentrate. Whenever you get affected, you address your issue only. Don't talk about architects. This is my humble request.
.  。  . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 . 。 . Hello. Hello? Hello?
Srikanth, please move on. I finished.
Okay, we generally don't permit supplementary questions also. Anyway,
Okay, sir.
let me conclude because it's already 6:30.
Yes, sir.
Let me thank Sanna Ratnavel for an excellent and passionate presentation. We have, I would like to inform the participants that he will be speaking on another topic during this series. Again, you will be getting the opportunity to hear him. And I'm very thankful to all the participants who are, listening to all the issues that he brought up, and also those who participated in the question and answer session. I hope it was a good evening for all of you. And now I wish you all a good night, and we'll meet next Saturday. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ratnavel, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. So nice of you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Anyway,
Thank you.
God will give a way
Thank
for
you.
us to meet again personally when this corona will go away.
We'll all meet.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Ratnavel, sir.
Oh, thank you, madam. So nice of you.
Yeah, I joined just for your talk from another country.
Oh, very nice of you. Where are you right now?
Right now in Muscat.
Oh, Muscat, very nice. Are you safe? How things are going on there?
Safe but trapped because of no flight.
Anyway, but take your vaccine and safety measures, madam.
Yeah.
It is my humble request.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ratnavel, sir.
Thank you, sir. So nice of you, sir.